Hey everybody out there at Facebook Live, it's IMPD Officer Jim Gillespie with the Media Relations Office, and we're happy to come to you again today to get to know more about IMPD and the support staff that we have. Today we're going to be with the Victims Assistance Unit, and you're going to get to learn just what they do here with IMPD and with the City of Indianapolis and all the great things that they do. But I do have to put in a quick recruiting plug. We are hiring, and we will be accepting applications until March 19th for the 16th recruit class with IMPD. So when it comes to the Victims Assistance Unit, please post your questions, whatever you might want to know, what they do, how they support Indianapolis and those affected by crime. Don't be shy. We're here for you. So we'll go ahead and get this show on the road. All right, so we'll just go ahead and start with introductions. Ma'am, please introduce yourself. Tell us how long you've been with IMPD.
My name is Lisa Brown. I've been with IMPD. This is my 23rd year.
23rd year?
Yeah.
Very good.
I am Zenobia Purvine. I've been with the police department for 38 years.
38 years?
Yes,
wow,
sir.
That's great.
I'm Yvonne Mintz, and I've been with the Victim Assistance Unit for 20 years.
Okay, very good. Now, folks out there, they understand that we're out on location somewhere. So can you talk about where are we at right now?
This is a scene of a recent homicide. We chose this location for the Facebook Live because we had a recent vigil here earlier this week, and that's part of what we do to support families. In the Victim Assistance Unit, we go to the scenes of violent crimes, homicide being one of the most serious, obviously. So we'll support people on the scene. We will hook them up with resources later. One of the things that we do to support people is to have a vigil, because some people find that is comforting, just to let people know that they matter.
Right.
So
absolutely. And I understand that it's very common with homicide scenes that a memorial is set up. So can we take a walk down there and take a look?
Absolutely. Let's do.
All right. And so, you talk about vigils. Are there other units that you're working with to set up vigils or to, participate?
Yes, we work hand in hand with the chaplain's office. We also work very closely with our community partners. They're very, very important to us. The Concerned Clergy, the 10 Point Coalition, and so it's kind of a group effort.
Right.
So, and then of course our command staff is also involved in the vigils. So, just so that families know that we do support them and that we do care. And, this is a terrible thing that happened, and, we just want to be there for them.
Right, right. Now, how important is it to establish that relationship right on the onset of when the incident happens?
To me, it's critical. When you're on the scene of a homicide, people understand that, okay, you're there, you saw the same things that they did, that, you get that this is a horrible thing that has happened. And people are more receptive to the resources that we have. We found if we can be on the scene, this is a road that nobody should have to walk by themselves. And, we want to just come along beside them and help them in whatever way possible.
Right. Yeah, and so, they can see there's a memorial here that's set up, and yeah, we did have a recent vigil here, and that is another part of the Chief's commitment to the City of Indianapolis, and really, of course, all of IMPD's commitment to the City of Indianapolis to support them in their times of need, and of course to be there for them at all times. So tell me about some of your experiences in victims assistance. And you have a long career with IMPD,
Yes.
so has it always been with victims assistance?
Most of it has. I started out on the auto desk, releasing cars, and went to team policing. So for the majority, I've been here in victim assistance. The majority of my years, I've been here in victim assistance.
Okay.
It's the best job in the world.
Best job? Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Empowering victims. Crime, when a victim has been criminalized, it's so many emotional involvements, and we just want to empower them and do what we can to help and I love helping victims to regain their power.
Yeah.
Great, very good. All right, and so what would you say has been the most impactful scene that you've been on? Has it been more related to homicide scenes, or have there been other scenes like maybe domestic violence or something else that where you've said, man, like I'm really glad I'm able to be here for these folks in this incident?
Domestic violence, I really appreciate working with domestic violence victims because I feel like they, because of what they suffer, people who are in poverty, they sometimes, if they don't have ways of expressing themselves emotionally, it comes out in violence and poverty and all those things. And so when women are going through that, I consider it a real privilege for them to allow me to be in their circle at that time, at their immediate space, to help them and to assist them. The homicides, it's hard for me to pinpoint any one particular because they all have an impact on you, and so I don't have any particular one I can say. And it's the same with them. I just feel that it's a privilege and it's an honor to be allowed to assist them in such an intimate time of their despair.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Now, what would you give as far as advice for those that have been a victim of a crime, whether it's a violent crime or a significant property crime, as far as coping? Like, what's the best way for them to move forward and move beyond being a victim?
That's a hard question.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a hard question.
I ask hard questions sometimes.
You do. I'm like, wow. Yeah, the counseling and the support, whether that be from a family member or members or their church or their neighborhood, just whoever their circle is, we want to make sure that they get that support. We've got different support groups that we can refer people to. There's something about being in a support group when you're relating to other people that get it and can understand that there's something powerful that happens there when you can just meet another human being that's walking down a similar road. So we definitely encourage the support groups or counseling. Counseling gets a bad rap, I think. It doesn't mean that you're crazy, whatever that means to people, but people say that, and what does that mean? But it means that you just need some help with the situation that you're going through. So to me, the strong people reach out for help. So I encourage that.
Right. Okay. And have you noticed in your years of experience, those who have become a victim of a crime, is it something that would be common for them to kind of become more secluded and possibly go down a dark path?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's why we encourage either family support or counseling. Get with someone that can help you and to you can talk with and just vent to. And that's very helpful because, yes, sometimes they do go down a dark path and get disappointed and upset with things. Sometimes even the system, they get upset with the system and how it works.
Right.
So, yes, they'll need that support.
Very good. Okay. All right. Have you dealt with any kind of, with families that have other family members or loved ones that are suffering from drug addiction and been able to provide any support for them or any guidance for them?
Yes, I've even talked with police officers that have had family members that they wanted to pass information on to a child, I can't remember, or whatever, that may have fallen in that hole. And so yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have been able to.
Okay. All right. And do you have any advice for them as far as anybody suffering from addiction on what they can do to move away from that?
The first step is to acknowledge that you have the problem. You have to acknowledge you have the problem, and from that point on, then you can begin to get the help.
Yes.
But until you realize and acknowledge that you have the problem, then you can't go any further. You're stagnated. You're in one spot. And I think family members can be a great support for people at a time like that. they have to admit it and be willing to stand by them because they need support. And the supports in the community is not always enough. They need that support of the family to let them know that they understand what they're going through.
Right, right. And so right now, the overreaching commentary that I'm getting right now to get past these things has been about support, family support and community support. So for those who are alone, let's say they just moved to Indianapolis for whatever reason, their families kind of disowned them, and they're here and they're a victim of a crime, what kind of support can they expect from Victims Assistance?
It depends upon the type of crime. First thing, I would love for them to call our office. Because we would love to talk with them. There's no time limit on this. It's not like, oh, if it's been 6 months, you can't get help. No, we have people that we help every day that it was years ago that they were victimized, that they need help. So I would just encourage them to call our office. There are other resources within the community too that they could access. One of the best ones is 211. If they literally dial 211, that is a great social service resource for them. But yeah, they can call our office as well. But we just want people to get help.
Right.
And there's no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame in that.
Right. And not only do you guys help out the citizens of Indianapolis, for everybody essentially, but you also reach out to officers on the department that maybe go through some tough times or anything else. Can you speak to any experiences that maybe you had in the past?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
The last one was the officer maybe that lost his child.
Okay.
Accidentally ran over his child. And we just sat and talked, and we were there at the hospital and just venting.
Yeah.
Just venting. And sometimes we're just listeners.
Right.
You know, we're just listeners. So sometimes people just want somebody to hear where they are.
I think this
To
comment.
just listen. Not necessarily advice, but just to be a listening ear. Yeah.
Get over here. Get out of the
Be a
way.
listening ear.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things that we can all do is to simply be an ear for somebody, be a shoulder, so to speak. So very good. Trying to think, what else was I wanted to ask you? Is there any particular incident that sticks out in your mind? I know we kind of talked about domestic violence and homicide, but is there any particular call that really affected you, where you went home and you just kind of just felt for that situation? And feel free, anybody can jump in on any of these questions.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, any particular one. Over the years, it's just hard to remember any particular ones.
I think the ones that affect me most are the ones with young kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are hard. Yeah, actually, it's all hard.
Right.
It's all hard. People need to realize that we feel the pain, you know, and but yeah, the ones with the young kids in particular, you know, it's not necessarily the ones that even make the headlines. You know, it's just random things. Every victim is important, but yeah, they all impact us, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Right. And this isn't a unit that just sticks to one area of town, like maybe one that's more crime-ridden to others, but it's countywide.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we go all over the city of Indianapolis.
Yeah, Beach Grove.
Yeah, and we have partnerships with places like Beach Grove and Speedway.
Speedway,
and
yes.
that type of thing. But we have a new pilot program that we're really, really excited about, where we are sending some of our counselors to different districts. Yeah. We've got one at East District. We've got one at Southwest District, and we've got one at Northwest. And that pilot program is just getting started. But what we're trying to do is trying to make it easier for people to access our services. We'll definitely come to you, but a lot of times people want to come to us, and our main office is downtown, and that can be a little bit problematic with parking and so forth. So we wanted to bring the we wanted to bring our people closer
Yes.
to the district. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to do our part in trying to reduce the non-fatal shootings and the homicides. We feel like if we can get to the scenes quicker, and if we're in the districts, we're going to be there quicker. And the quicker we get to working with people, the quicker we can make some changes, or they can make some changes. But we just want to do whatever we can to support people, and we think that that pilot project is going to be awesome. So
Very good.
yeah.
I just happen to think, I'm just thinking or going through my head, all the one that always comes to my mind, but just didn't at that moment, was suicide. I've been on a couple of suicides, and I think sometimes they really affect me because I've had that happen in my family. And I've seen people hanging, for hours, and being there with the family, talking with them, and being with them can be comforting, for them, and knowing that I've been through it, not exactly how it was done and everything, but been through it. I know their pain, and I don't have to say it, but I can be there with them to show them how much I care. And the suicides are been the most impactful to me.
Right. Yeah, and this is a question for all three of you, but how do you deal with those kind of things? I mean, the stress of it. What is it that you do in your own personal life to kind of help keep yourself sane from seeing all these types of crimes and these scenes?
The first thing for me is God. My relationship with God is everything. And so I definitely have to include that as number one. Second would be family and friends, just spending time with them, just doing something else. And definitely exercise is a big part of it.
Sure.
You've got to have good coping strategies. So you try to do something that's going to help rather than hurt.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yes, I think praying and reading,
Yes.
and also running. I like to work out.
Very
So
good.
with those three things, it really helps, and the love of your family.
Right.
When you get home, love of your
Yes.
family.
Very good.
Like she said, like they've said, your faith in God. That's my mainstay. My faith in God, and that I trust Him to help me through every situation, even when I'm with victims, and the support of my family, who I know love me and care for me, that some people out here don't have.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. It is incredibly important. I know. I'd fallen victim to just locking myself in a room and eating Oreos.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
We're not saying that we've never done that.
Right.
I had a couple.
Gorging up some Blue Bunny ice cream.
I had
Yeah.
a couple of half gallons of ice cream.
Yeah, that's
we have
right.
a thing called ice cream therapy.
Yeah, ice cream
Yeah.
therapy. There you go.
There you
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. No. Now on to a little more serious, but we're talking about non-fatal shootings.
Yes.
A lot of times, and I've been on scene with investigations where we get no cooperation,
Right.
and it seems like there's this mentality of I'll deal with it myself. I'll take care of it. I don't want the police involved.
Right.
So, what would you say to folks out there that kind of have that mentality of like, no, I don't want the police involved. I'll deal with it myself. Or
Well,
what advice would you give them?
I guess the beauty of our unit is we are not officers.
Right.
We are civilians. And so, I just want to say give us a chance.
Yeah.
Give us a chance. Tell us what the barriers are. We may come up with resources to help you. Give us a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also letting them know, if you make this decision, there are consequences to it.
Yes.
And you're not going to be the only one affected. It's a trickle-down effect. You're going to affect
Yeah.
your children, your family, your loved ones, and, because they're going to have to lose you. They're going to lose you because you're going to go, to jail for,
Right.
So I think it's trying to get them to think wisely and let the police
Right.
do their job.
Yeah. Right.
Very good.
Because that's why the police are there. If we didn't have the police, we would have no order.
Right.
And they have to realize that. And you just can't run around taking things in your own hands.
Yeah. Very good.
So.
Well, we do have a question from Corey Mann. and we appreciate it, Corey, that you asked a question. We encourage others to ask questions as well. And he's asking, do you find it easier for families that don't want to talk to police to talk to you? I mean, is it easier for them to talk to you?
Definitely.
Yes,
Definitely.
Absolutely.
It's nice that we're not in uniform, and it kind of takes that barrier down. But yeah, we definitely encourage that, and I do find that it is easier sometimes.
Sure. Okay, and this is another question for you. It's related to conflict resolution. We see this violent crime, and with these non-fatal shootings, there's obviously some issue with the conflict resolution that instead of having a talk, they go to firearms. So do you have any recommendations or any advice for teenagers out there or parents of kids?
I say get help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There are a lot of agencies around town that will help with conflict resolution. Whether that's a church, reaching out to a church or a social service agency. But there's help out there, and we just encourage people, reach out for help. Either call our office, we can find somebody that can help you, 211, that type of thing. But if you reach out, if you suffer in silence and nobody knows, nobody can help you. But if we know what's going on, if we can't help you, we can find somebody else that can.
Right.
And I think that you'll find our office, we rarely say, we've never said, oh, we don't have anything, sorry.
We can't help you.
We always make sure that we refer on to somebody else that can help. So just to reach out for help.
Right. Have you all had experiences like joyous experiences through victims assistance, maybe after the fact, where you see people move forward, move on with their lives and let go of, can you speak to any of those experiences?
Sometimes just, small things we do, change a lock,
Yeah.
or help them relocate, the residents, helping them get a protective order, going through the process with them of getting the protective order, sometimes going to court with them, and that empowers them.
Yeah.
So we try to be there, the whole gamut. We try to be there as much as we can. And sometimes we get lots of success stories.
Right.
Sometimes relocating people, even, they hug us and say thank you for, for getting me away, and they're just thrilled,
Yeah.
And
We come back 20 years. I've got victims from 20
that
years
comes
ago.
back.
Right.
Come back and tell me, hey, I've got a good job and I'm doing really good. So that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and it just brought the thought to my mind of we take being able to leave for granted. As far as if I had to leave my house and go somewhere else and get an apartment, I could do it, no problem.
Right.
It's not a problem.
Right.
But for some folks, it's not that easy.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
resources are a barrier, so definitely.
So we try to pull resources together and see what we can do to help a victim out as much as we can.
Okay.
We're there for them all the way. Just ask. We'll do what we can to help.
Okay. Have you guys seen the evolution of maybe you're on scene and somebody's just completely angry and they're just filled with hate, and then throughout this recovery process they kind of get peace in their hearts?
Yes,
Can you speak to an
absolutely.
experience like that?
I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is our homicide group that we offer, survivors of violent death support group. We do that twice a month, the first and the third Wednesday of every month at Legacy House. And we've seen people come in there and, at first they are raw, I guess you could say. Just the emotions are just, it's just, right there. And as time goes by and they meet with other families, and they can kind of share that pain, that, then we turn the corner and there's hope. And that's the coolest thing, to see that, and just to see them, not just be in their own pain, but also to help somebody else along. That to me is one of the coolest things that we've seen. Yeah.
Talking to other victims that's made it through maybe the same crime they've gone through, and that's a success story for them, knowing that they made it through and I can make it
Right.
too.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I know that on these vigils, I have seen family members suffering where they've, called out to God.
Oh, yeah.
And they're asking for that peace, and they
Yes.
talk about moving forward
Yes.
with that compassion as
Right.
as opposed to hate. So that's really important. Glad that you guys are there for them. We do have another question from Michael Woolley, and he's asking if there was one thing you could do to improve the program, what would it be? It's a tough one,
That's
right?
a good one.
Yeah.
You know what? I know.
Here we go.
If I could do anything, I would want more people in the unit.
There you go.
So that we could reach more people.
Absolutely.
More
Absolutely.
victims. Yeah, that's what I would
Absolutely.
pick. If you were giving away wishes, that's what I would wish
Yes,
for.
absolutely.
Right.
I second that.
Okay. Very good. Do you have any other suggestions? Anything else that you would like to change?
No.
No?
More. Money, money for resources, but
And also
they're
have-
glad to get
yeah.
they're glad to get what we offer usually.
Sure.
And sometimes you feel like you're just giving them crumbs, but
Right.
but to them a crumb is like a loaf of bread sometimes.
Oh, sure.
You want to do more.
Right.
And sometimes we reach in our own pockets and do a little bit.
Yeah, that's very kind.
And even having a supervisor that care and
Oh.
that feel, such as Lisa, that
Yeah.
feels the compassion of the people, and she gets down dirty with us, and
Yeah.
and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
We support each other. She supports us,
Yes.
and sometimes she's like, "Hey, girls, want to talk session? Anybody want to talk?" And
Yeah.
and that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful.
I'm going to spend more time in your office.
Yeah, come on, enjoy it. We're one big happy family.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Now, Kathy Rotler, she's asking, are there resources for someone with a 40-year-old cold case?
What type of resources, I guess I would ask. First of all, we have our cold case unit that looks at all of those cases. An unsolved homicide is still in that pool of cases. They never dispose of those. I mean, it stays there. I would say the homicide group is a great resource.
Yes.
Okay.
No matter if it just happened,
Yes.
or if it was 6 months ago, or if it was 40 years ago.
Yes.
A lot of the things that they're dealing with are the same, and just to be around other people that get it. We also have counseling resources that if you want to go one-on-one, you can do. We have a lot of families, they'll do the one-on-one and the group, so they get. I just don't think that you can give enough resources to our homicide families, but definitely there's no time limit, and we definitely feel the same thing, whether it was 10 minutes ago or 40 years ago.
And so they can reach out to you,
Yes,
reach out to your
absolutely.
office. And what's a
Absolutely.
good contact?
Our
Contact
main
information?
line is 317-327-3331. And so they can just reach out to us, and if they want to ask for me personally, that's fine. But they can reach out to any of
Any
us.
of the counselors, yes.
Great, very good. Michael has another question, and he's wondering, what organizations do you partner with?
We partner with Legacy House. We partner with Julian Center. We partner with Domestic Violence Network. We work with any number of organizations, really. I'm standing here thinking I can't think of
So
others.
many.
But there are so many. And really that's the
Hospitals.
beauty of it. Yeah, the hospitals,
Hospitals.
the Centers of Hope,
Mental
Yes.
health.
mental health, all
And
of that.
Yes, the mental health
Eskenazi.
that the police department
Yeah.
started. That group
Right.
is great.
Yeah.
Great
Oh.
group.
Very
So our community partners are everything to us, because really no one agency can do it alone. We all have to work together, and I
Absolutely.
love that about IMPD, that we embrace our community partners. So we couldn't do it without them.
Very good. Okay, we're going to get ready and wrap this up here so you gals can get back to it. But we always like to end these with a message to the community. So is there anything that any of you would like to say
Reach
to
out
Indianapolis?
to us.
And
Yes.
Okay.
Reach out to us.
Yeah.
We are there to help. We care. We care how you feel. We care what happens to you.
Yeah.
Whatever way we can help you, we're willing to do that. If we don't have the help on hand, we can refer you out to someone that can. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And standing here at the homicide victims scene, I'd like to say, if there's something then say something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only way to rid our community of the violence and the
Yes.
people who are determined to do the violence. If you know
Absolutely.
something, say something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just reach out to us. We want to help. Anything that we can do, like Snow said, if we can't help you, we can reach out to one of our community partners and they can possibly help you. But definitely don't suffer in silence, I guess I would say.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, ladies, really appreciate your time today and appreciate everything you do for the victims in Indianapolis. It's a very important resource and very important thing to help them to recover
Yes.
from a tragedy. So again, we appreciate your time and hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, so you got to meet the Victims Assistance Unit. We appreciate you tuning in today, and please like and share the video so other folks can get to meet them. It's a very important resource that's offered within IMPD. These gals are dedicated and compassionate and passionate about what they do and the things that they provide. And just as you heard them say, oh, there's a dog. Well, this might be fun. But just like they said, it's up to you. It's for us to be able to move forward. Everybody's freaking out about this pit bull behind me. Anyways, it's up to us. If we want to see a safer Indianapolis and have less memorials like we have behind me, we have to do something. We have to work together. And we want the city of Indianapolis to be safe, and we want to make things better, and we want your support and your help in doing so. So again, if you need any resources, 211, as well as reach out to our Victims Assistance Unit. And thanks again for tuning in. And remember, we're here for you 24/7, 365. Thanks and have a great day.